Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like that's my gift and my like thing to have to like cross to carry of like, oh, so why not just give the person that's good with tech to have to deal with tech problems?
Oh my God. Hilarious. So your camera is still not like you're here with me, but it's not activated. But I'm sure this happened last time. I think it'll just eventually,
Yeah.
I'll get the pairing will continue. So here we are again together talking about another amazing topic, aligning with your cosmic wealth team through
Mhm.
astrology and the Akashic Records. And for those of you who are new or watching this on the replay, this is my friend Carolina Vilas, who is an amazing, I should say you're a business and wealth astrologer and a
Oh, thank
ritualist.
you. Yes,
You
I
are.
would
You are
agree.
that. You are that. So tell the people who are brand new, never even been on this channel or are coming new to your channel, all about you, please, and what we're talking about today.
Yeah. So again, hi, my name is Carolina Velez, and I'm the founder of Quest Mystic and the Cosmic Wealth Collective. Prior to being in the mystic woo space, I would say that I was a very hardcore muggle. I was committed to the matrix, and I worked for the corporations of the world, many very large ones and small ones, small nonprofits to big corporations. I've I feel like the internet has been part of my life since I was in my 20s, when I began my career in the internet, and I didn't know anything but that space, and honestly, until later where I decided like, wow, I don't know if I want to be in this space anymore. And so I quit my job and then went through a massive spiritual.
You're a bit frozen there. Okay,
Yeah, it goes in and out. Yeah.
Mercury.
Mercury, love you, Mercury.
Love you
Thank you.
so
And it's Mercury
much.
Day too, so
Yes, and it's Mercury Wednesday. Yes, it is.
yeah, yeah.
Ah,
So I've had, yeah, I've had, I guess the last 10 years, I've been more focused exclusively on my own spiritual development. And the last few years, I've been combining my business interest, strategy work with to develop my own business and to do astrology. And now I've flipped it and I'm doing the two things together where I'm helping solopreneurs and those who want to figure out how to utilize astrology for money. So maybe you're not just a solopreneur, perhaps you're working for a 9 to 5 and you've got some money blocks or, whatever. Although at this point, and we can talk about it at some point,
mhm. Maybe repeat what you said because you're frozen. Just
uh,
a tiny bit. Say that one more time. We're waiting on your genius.
yes, yes. I would say at this point, if I were your average individual who is doing 9 to 5 and working for somebody else, that
Yeah.
you should develop a secondary income source to
Yes.
not leave
1,000%.
that on the table.
Always.
Yeah, I'm gonna do low definition on my camera
Yeah,
resolution.
that sounds good. Well, and we can still hear Carolina. We are persevering with camera and tech little, I wouldn't say even challenges. I would say more streams of energy that we're learning to contend with, which is perfect because we're talking about aligning with that cosmic wealth stream, which is interesting. And I was going to say, on my end, one of the things that I love watching people step into, even if they have like a 9 to 5 job or they're in a more traditional setting, that knowing and just seeing especially from an astrological perspective, and then on my end, from like a spiritual, energetic alignment perspective, how you can open up these areas of abundance and prosperity in your life and work with your unique energy and then do those through a variety of different practices and just in general enhance your life because finances is a rudimentary baseline thing that we all need to have harmony with, and or we struggle, and
Mhm.
even people that do have money, they can struggle with because of still having issues. So
Yes, absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So let me okay, so and this is going to be a great conversation because I know how much you've like helped me in my business and figuring things out. And I also I'll have lots to share about with like working with your own energy field, your Akashic records, being able to clear things energetically, but also we're going to talk about working with specific spirits that I personally highly recommend that are fantastic with working with helping you with this abundance energetic, I would say, frequency and flow in your life. But tell us from your perspective, how did you move into especially feeling so connected to helping people with this specific area when it comes to your astrology work?
Like why I stepped into doing this
Ah,
particular.
and then what are you finding with your clients?
Yeah. So I have, so every part of one's chart has some sort of like meaning or expression. And depending on who you are in your chart, some parts may be more prominent for you than others. That's just the reality of it.
Right. Mhm.
And so for me, I have there's a part in the chart that we talked to about, which is called the houses. And the houses basically tell us where energy plays in your life, like the major themes. And like just think of like if you had a
We're having another
yeah,
pause.
all
We
right.
had another little pause. Sorry.
Dear Mercury, your
Dear
chat,
Mercury.
please.
I know, and I
We
lit
love you.
Jupiter's candle today, but I'm feeling like I forgot I need to probably have a candle for Mercury just
Yeah.
to clear
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah,
Yes.
so the houses are the act sorry, let me back up. The planet is an actor, and then he puts on he reads a role, a script, right?
Yep.
And that script is the sign. And then the stage scene is the house,
Wow.
right? And so like the house or stage that speaks to money is the second house. It's also the house that speaks to our values and our talents. It's our
Mm,
resources. And so I have Chiron in Aries in the second house, which
mhm.
means that there is a wound around me wanting to claim my own values, existence, and initiation of what I where I have shrinked back.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
also have a Libra moon, and my Libra moon is like, oh, let's consider everybody, and like, oh yeah, make sure everything's harmony. Yay! That's great on the surface level, but a lot of times what I'm doing is biting my tongue and not speaking my truth and not claiming for the things that I need or want out of life. And
Right.
so, how did that translate from a money perspective? Well, when I worked in those big corporations, instead of going after what I could have, I shrunk back for it. Did I get paid peanuts? No, but I instead of getting like the money that I could have received, um, I didn't because I didn't
Mm,
pursue it,
right.
okay?
Mhm.
And and so I came across so in the realm of astrology, you can pretty much specialize in any sort of
Yeah.
field, right?
Love
There's
it.
so many different ways you can take astrology. And
Mhm.
most recently, what I noticed I'm hanging up again. Did I yeah, I know. I saw it because like blah, 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 blah. Okay, am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Okay. And so what I notice is that we're inundated with information. And information is valuable. It's what makes people money, right?
Yep, it sure is.
Always, right? The
Mhm.
reason why you hire a lawyer is because they know something and they
Right.
know how to do it.
Mhm.
But for them to get to a lawyer perspective, they have to be tested and they have to practice it. And what is happening now is that we are constantly chasing a dopamine hit and we're not practicing or embodying changes. And I
Mm.
feel like I have done so much work on myself to understand this wound and how it's played out so that I can correct it, so that I can share with others, because what I experience is very common. It's very common,
Very
right?
common. Yeah,
When I
absolutely.
when I talk to people, that's exactly what they're doing in a different way in their charts, whether that's not stepping in or they are just a point of growing into that, right? There's always a stage, there's always a reason why. So visibility is one. Another one is not valuing self. That's a very common thing for women, period.
Mhm.
So people are like, well, everybody has that problem. Like, yeah, but they don't have it in the way that I have it in my experience.
Uh-huh.
They have it perhaps in their relationships, or perhaps in how they serve to the world, where they're always giving to the world and never to themselves. Like, this can manifest in different ways. So your chart will tell you. And so I decided that, like, okay, and with the help with my coach, I'm like, I'm going to shift my work away from like this general way of like, I want to help you with astrology for personal development, to
Right.
I want to help, as well as my business side. I had two different memberships. I said, well, I'm just going to combine these two to the point around money, because
Mhm.
money nowadays has completely changed.
Yep.
Okay. Right?
Yep.
And, they are scrambling for jobs. We're losing a loss of jobs because of AI,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that we permanently lost it. No, what's happening is that we are seeing a new marketplace of jobs that have yet to be defined. And you either jump onto that bandwidth, or you do what happens to most people or societies over time as they evolve. You go down and you find another path, and that path may be less money because you're no longer competing with the market,
Mhm.
or you have whatever you have developed and it works just fine, or
Yeah.
you retire, right? The money story is, for me, like, unless you were born with wealth, very few people break into massive wealth. Okay.
Yeah.
And charts can tell you that, whether
Right.
you come into wealth or you may break into that, but it's not a given. At the end of the day, there's so much. I would say, if we're doing numbers,
Yeah.
helping women understand their charts and themselves so they can stop doubting who they are and start owning their shit, so
Yeah.
they can go and claim their authentic truth and path.
Mhm.
Because I had it all. Like, I had this house, this marriage, all those things, and I wasn't happy. And I talked to a lot of people who are like, they're in a moment of complete disintegration or reworking, or that tower moment where everything breaks apart, and they're holding on to dear life, to like
Right.
to what it was,
Yeah.
right? They're like,
Mm.
I don't know I don't know what's happening. It's just everything is breaking down. I can't get a job. Whatever is happening, relationships, jobs, home, shadow, all the things. And most of the time, I'm like, you just need to wait it out a little bit longer, but you're in it. You're
Yeah,
truly
you're
in it.
exactly. Exactly. I know I have from the place where I'm working from with energy work, the Akashic Records, is when I'm working with students and clients, and we're looking at literally how their energetics are working, how they embody their clarity, and how they embody their patterns and their confusion. One of the things that these tools, working with your astrological blueprint, and then for me also accompanying the Akashic Records, your energetic blueprint. One thing we do is the same thing. We go in at a root level, and we are able to work on, and you can learn to do this yourself, clearing these energetic patterns that keep you in a loop and stuck and repeating the same patterns again and again and again. So you can have that expansion. You can drop in get those ideas, start being able to channel your own intuition, which is all, I think the thing I love about astrology and then working in this way with I would say the soul in template is that they pair together exactly. It's like a divine template that is meant for you.
Mhm.
And I think that moving forward, this is us, the new human. This is
Yes.
where we're at. And it's exciting to watch the shifts and when people get the aha moments and they break away, like what you're saying, from like the corporate America grip, or you could say it the patriarchal grip or
Mhm.
the religious grip, whatever it can be, right? And they start to see all these other potentials and possibilities and things. I mean, even this morning, yesterday I did a lot of editing I made a YouTube video. Go watch it. It's a good one. And on, if spirit starts talking to you or you're getting in contact, like you have maybe ETs reaching out to you or loved ones on the other side. What do you do? So that's what that's about. But I was editing my video and I was like, wow, I know there's a faster way to do this because I work with, two of these tools, right? Working with Claude and then I'm working with Descript for editing. And then, of course, this morning there's a woman who says, I have the perfect training for you if you want to combine those two things. Like people are building businesses from this, right? Huge businesses, women especially. So there's opportunity everywhere, just shifting all those, the framework and the perspective, and then understanding. So, for example, like when I had my session with you a few weeks ago, there she goes. She's coming back. She's coming back. But I want to reference what happened. So Carolina gave me she got an Akashic Records reading with me about 6 weeks ago. And then I did a business astrology forecast for me for my year. So I can see how I'm going to work in my business in the best, most aligned way. And then I took the information from our conversation on the Zoom, recording, and I fed it through AI with Claude to come up with a strategy for me to just templatize it or make it as clear as possible to be able to integrate into my calendar, into my schedule. So again, it's like the beauty of that. And then at the same time, I can see energetically for me and also working with my clients. Here she is. Oh, okay. She's trying to come back on. We're working with Mercury with a sense of humor. This has been going on for the last, I would say, week. She and I have been having these funny experiences with technology anyway. So that's the thing that I think going forward, as all of you who are watching this, probably on the replay, or also who are here, and we're wondering, like, how can we make this happen for ourselves? How can we move out of, I would say, more of a place of limitation, survival, or non-expansion into a place of really living in alignment? And again, understanding how things work. Because I feel like a lot of the time when you're starting your spiritual path or you're on this journey, it's a little bit of like poking around in the dark, trying to figure things out and a little bit of guesswork. And something like these two modalities of working with them, tapping into your own Akashic records, but also being able to know your astrology hand in hand, you are armed with so much wisdom and information and knowledge. That's one thing I would really say. And while we're here, do want to talk about how things like how past lives can affect your money story and also your wealth and what you can do about that. And so moving through that in general. So obviously, I think by this point, if you're, here watching this video, probably you already are in agreement with past lives. Maybe you're even exploring some of your own. But I would say that, we as souls, we carry the energetics of every lifetime we've ever lived. Now, some of those lives don't really affect us as much as other ones can, depending on, again, our astrology, what we've sort of signed up for in this lifetime or what our experiences will be. But often, I think one of the things that people are overcoming at this point in history is the limitations from their past lives. And so things like being in poverty or having a fear or a restriction around money or having beliefs that it's a sin if you have too much. Even things like if you're you being confident and sharing your work, asking for money, all of those things energetically can affect you. And this is one of the things that if you are able to work and go to the root of it, in the method I do, but there's other ways to do it, where you can tap into the where the root of that is, then you can transmute that and release that energy. Another thing I also was going to talk about that I really enjoy when it comes to wealth work is the idea. I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever worked with any spirit guides on your money story? Have you thought about that? I'm going to put that in as a post. So feel free to comment on that either now or later. So this is one of the benefits of working with your own spirit guides and also being open to other guides who can help specifically with your money and your wealth. So we can acknowledge that. Yay, there she is. Okay, hang on.
Oh,
Yay, you're back and you're not frozen anymore too. I kind of went into my story about past lives and money and
oh, geez, Louise.
no, we're going to keep persevering.
I mean, I should have a tequila shot at this point.
Yes, you should,
because Mercury is like all kinds. It wasn't StreamYard. It's my fucking internet now.
Oh my
Use
God.
my language, friends.
No, we've already sworn. It's already happened. Oh my God. But you look crisp. I can tell you look amazing. I can hear you, see you. We're just round 2 at this point. We're going to go. Going.
We're going to continue. Yeah, we're going to go on the marathon here.
Not let it stop us. We know enough, you and I, to know this is just a little bit of folly on the part of the planetary energies working through these kinds of challenging energies. And so anyway, I was explaining to the people just a little bit about, in my perspective, how, and this goes along with your astrology, sort of a continuation, is that how we can change the trajectory of our life and energetics based upon aligning with our astrology and understanding our templates, then learning to work with that. And that's what and then on my end, I mentioned a few tips for Akashic Records work. But I would say, let me give you, so you spoke really well about your own challenge with like some of the placements you have. Tell us about another challenging placement and what do you recommend for clients if they have certain, drawbacks to their astrological chart when it comes to wealth? What do you recommend?
All right. So here's a one actually that somebody shared recently. So I have a free school. You guys just look at the link there and do follow me. So there's somebody who was saying how they were having a difficult time with really showing up. Is needed, right? It's you are your salesperson, your marketing, your product developer, your customer service, the housekeeper, so on and so forth. And so visibility is very important because how else are going to people buy from you if they can't see you? And most people, depending on the nature of the offer, need some sort of like personal connection. And there's actually data out there. Google did a whole study on this. Okay. It's like 7 hours of interaction with the individual, 11 separate contacts, and up to 4 hours of content.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And so like if you're struggling with that, what I said was like, well, your astrology probably has a lot to say about this. And I asked him, I said, do you have anything in the 4th, 8th, or 12th house, or perhaps stood out for me to share?
Well, say that again. We lost you for a couple seconds. Can you repeat that last couple of sentences? I'm going to close the door too while you're at it.
Yeah. So the core things to track would be, or to look at your chart would be to see if you have anything in the 4th, 8th, or 12th house.
Right.
And if you have a lot of strong like Scorpio energy, but it's not just those things, right? There are other things that you can look at that may speak to not wanting to have your energy always out there. So this person responded and said, yeah, actually, I have my sun in the 12th
Yeah.
and I have Scorpio in the 4th.
Mm.
And she's like, yeah, I don't. And she's like, oh my God, now this makes sense for my sun. So why is that important to know? Because when you have a personal planet such as the sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, especially of health also, does that sound like someone who wants to be in the spotlight all the time?
Right. Right.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so what needs to happen for somebody like that is to accommodate in their schedule and in their business to ensure that they are having restful time away from people. And so, what sort of business, depending on the rest of the chart, one business that could help with that would be that something is automated. So, for example, I actually have my Mars in the 12th.
Mm.
And it rules my second, my house of money. And so a digital membership makes complete sense because
Yeah.
it becomes on an autopilot type of system. If I automate and create all the infrastructure to enable that,
Right.
right? Instead of me going to door salesman.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so knowing where your placements are can help you understand and what to do instead of.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Exactly.
what can you replace it in or accommodate for that? And so somebody who has a lot of placements and spaces that require retreat or need like deep connection or privacy, then you need to come up with businesses that don't expose you.
Yeah.
And you need to be out there like doing the things that automate and allow you to be more anonymous.
Yeah.
And some people are like, well, maybe I do a faceless YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. People are doing that. They are doing that.
Maybe you become a podcaster depending if you have like some other placements and that podcast gets recorded, 3 months in advance and you publish it.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to be able to show up without having to have the constant interpersonal connection. Sorry, everybody, we're having a little difficulty with
Mercury is not gonna mess
Mercury is
it's not
Mercury is not gonna win. So if you're hearing pauses off and on, just stick with us. You're gonna get golden nuggets. It's a moment to take a breath and ground. Guess what? We're getting a moment to ground. This is
Yeah.
Carlene and I will never give up. This is what
Yeah,
you
no, we're not gonna give up on
never
this.
gonna give up. No, we just keep going and smiling. And also, if you guys are watching, we'd love you to ask your questions in the chat. You can comment on Carolina's page or on mine. We would love to interact with you. I see we have a few people here, so feel free if you have questions about, your placements when it comes to your astrology. If you have a question about working in the Akashic Records with your money story, you can absolutely do all that. And I'll tell you one of the things that I worked with when you just had your wealth summit, your wealth frequency summit. I'll tell you what I did there, which was cool. So yeah, I love that what I love so much about, and then what I loved learning about for myself, Carlene, and this is what I was talking about actually when you were on your little hiatus for that few minutes, is that I mentioned how helpful it was to have you read my chart in relationship to like my work, my business. And I think I know a lot about myself. Here I am, but I got so much value out of that. And I was telling the audience, like I said, I took what you told me and then I took the transcript, ran it through Claude, and I
Nice.
said, let's put this in the calendar.
Yes.
Tell me what's what, so I'm not forgetting anything. It's not just one nice little thing. This is like a business plan with astrology.
I love it.
It's such a huge benefit. I mean, oh my gracious. So it's just such a game changer.
Totally. Yeah, yeah, and that's one of the things that I'm actually, playing around with too with for my
Mm-hmm.
so to help you plan.
Oh,
So
I
that's
love
great.
So
Yeah.
good. It's so good. I was going to say one thing that I've been working on my end in the Akashic Records, and one thing because I do a lot of spirit work, and so I really try to align my members, my clients, with their own wealth team in the spirit world. So this is where if you've not really, whether you're brand new to working with your spirit guides or you've been doing it a long time, and maybe you're just at this point where maybe you want to expand to see how else you can work with them. What you need to know is that in the spirit world, you have many able-bodied spirits who want to support you in be living your best life. And if your best life is you want to release some of the energetic blockages you have around money and wealth, you can absolutely do that. And you can do it in a way that's not really difficult or overly challenging as well. I mean, the thing is that when you start doing any kind of spirit work, you just want to start with, I would like help from my own spirit team, please. And you start
Yes.
with that. And hello, Yesy. So now we're getting our people coming in saying hello. I think that's coming on your side.
Yes. Hi. Yes.
So what you can do really is you can ask for that. You can ask for help. You can also ask for help from your ancestors who were very good with money. This is a way to work with your frequency, your energy, to remove some of the emotional, mental blockages that you have, because everything is a current of energy. And so your relationship with abundance, with flow, with the current of wealth is either going to be open and thriving and healthy, or it's going to be shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So these are different ways. So if you're not sure about that, start with your own spirit guides and your own benevolent wealth, I would say wealth expansive ancestors. This is a really good way to start things, which I know you've done this work too.
Yeah, definitely connect with those that already have done the work, and they can help teach you and guide you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we were going to talk about the Cosmic Wealth team.
Yes, exactly. So now let's move into, would you like me to start with my thing, or do you want to start with
No,
yours?
go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So one of the things, and this is what I did with Carolina, and I want you guys, of course, if you're on my side, make sure you're, first of all, following Carolina, and then you sign up for all her offers, please. And thank you. You're going to enjoy them because she has so much to generously share with you about stepping into these frequencies. So one of the things that I do in the Akashic Records is that when you enter into this place, this is what you could call the fifth dimension. And so that exists beyond time and space. And so when you learn to open up your own Akashic Records and you ask guides to come forward for you who specifically work with helping you with manifestation, with abundance, with wealth and your energy, you will be taken through simple practices and experiences energetically, which will help to change your energy, which will help to change and alchemize blockages you have, thought patterns that have kept you stuck, and then also to then transmit information to you through a telepathic exchange and an attunement to get you more compatible with the frequency of wealth. And the thing is that if you've spent most of your life living energetically connected to more of a press down or like a worker bee kind of mentality, your frequency, your energy is not a match for the more abundance that would come towards you. And so this isn't about perfection. It doesn't mean you are not going to be human anymore, but it does mean that you then tune into the radio station that is the wealth radio station. Okay. So, and this can be done. If you've never done this sort of thing, drop it in the comments. Let us know. We'll definitely answer these questions, but you can, there are so many wealth-based entities that are willing to help you. And she'll be back. One of the things that I have recently gotten with some of my guides, when I'm just feeling like I've capped at a level, right? And in my energy, I've either feeling stress or strain or worry related to finances or whether I can manifest. Because I don't believe in just hoping and wishing for positivity and trying to do that. I believe in energetic help. So one of the things one of my guides did was to take me to the Akashic Records, and they said to me, we are going to take you into the room of wealth. And I had no idea what they were talking about. I mean, I didn't know. Because that's not really how I operate. I operate from a place of holistic well-being and balance. Sure, abundance, but I don't like overly focus on it. It's not organic for me. So that's part of what happens when you build these relationships with these guides, is that they guided me into this place in the ether, in the liminal space of the Akashic Records. And I went into a room, which was like a vibration. Imagine it's like going into like a spiritual spa, and you're in the energy, which helps you then create that vibration of abundance. And it bypasses the mind and the mental plane and works on a frequency level. And if you wonder why, how do these people attract all these clients, right? Or how do they have success in their business? There's many steps involved with things. And some people are building wealth who don't have good ethics and who are not in alignment. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how you can step into your own abundance, your version of what that is. And I will say from me, and I've done this over many, many years, I am teaching a class on money and magic as well, and manifesting. But it has really all these small practices when done over. You need help learning to, okay, good. Well, stick around. I've got a lot of information about that. I would love to help you in some way. Be sure to sign up for, I actually have a free course that's a 10-day course in my membership, which is called the Sanctuary. That is a 10-day, really good short lesson experience to be able to connect with your guides. And I'm very, although I'm very expansive and I'm definitely obviously very spiritual, I'm also very practical. So these things, learning to work with them in small ways each day, 10 minutes a day, makes such a huge difference. So be sure to register for that. It's in the description here. But knowing that, here's the thing, the shortcoming with just doing manifestation work is that you're trying to do everything yourself. All your effort is going into you trying to conjure and make things happen. And while I believe in matching the effort, that you're working on, what we have to know is the spirit world can do so much for us, and they are completely willing and hoping to be able to help you. So this is something you want to consider. And I will say, over the time periods, it's been going on for about 7 years. But I will say more specifically, my guides have really led me since 2019. And I've had some of the most successful years financially that I've ever had in my business. I mean, 3 years in a row, I've made over 6 figures. I don't talk about that a lot, but I want it for you all so you can know that these things are possible for you. You do put in the time. It's not going to happen overnight. Here, I see her. Oh my God, I love you. We're still holding down the fort.
Wow.
We're holding down the fort. This Mercury is, I almost feel like, do you have a blue candle?
Wow. So folks,
the biggest one.
Here's the interesting thing about the planets.
Yes, tell me.
Is that there always seems to be like some sort of pattern or repetition that happens with them, and overall.
Yes.
So Mercury retrograde for this year happens in water signs.
Oh my God.
And my Mercury,
tell people about that. So if you have your Mercury
either in Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, each of these retrogrades that happen over this year will
listen to our audio. Just when you're explaining the concept of having a water placement, your audio. I'm not saying it's hilarious, but it's, oh my God. I know
it's too much.
Mine's in Virgo. So I'm sitting here holding it down.
You love precision. So
I do love precision.
And so anyways, when Mercury goes retrograde, things can get a little wonky, but for me, it's being very personal.
It is so personal, dude. I have to say, well, Carolina, you guys again, she last week, well, her birthday was last week, and
Yes.
she also hosted this incredible summit, a wealth summit. And in that, she and I were having to communicate vis-a-vis, just because we're setting up everything. I was a contributor, things like that. So many moments where I'm like, did you get my email or did I get the link? I mean, I've never seen it happen that many. So Super Musings is LOL. It's hilarious. Everything Carolina comes to the nugget of information she cuts out. Everyone's like, every time you get, and she's frozen right now, we're going to keep this thing rolling. I'm trying to remember. Do you have your, is your Mercury in Pisces, did you say? Or
mine is in Cancer. So this is my own Mercury retrograde laughing at me.
Oh,
it's what it is.
You have been handling it like a champ.
Oh my God.
Handling it like a champ with humor and grace and elegance. I mean, honestly, my friend.
All right, so let's get to the chase.
Please,
people,
go ahead,
did you cover the Akashic Record?
I did. I had so much time to cover it.
Nice.
Go back and watch it later if you're coming back to this.
Perfect. All right. So in the cosmic wealth of team people members, many people think of Venus as the planet of money.
Okay.
And Venus is helpful because she can help us magnetize things to us by being in the vibration of what we have, what we're wired for. And so my Venus is in Gemini, and so I magnetize things.
Stick with her. She'll get back to it if you wait long enough, you guys.
And oh no,
it's almost like the universe is making you take intentional pauses.
Oh my goodness. All right. So wherever your Venus is tells you how do you magnetize things. For me, it's through curiosity, through learning, through talking, through sharing of information and simplifying things. And so that's how my money is made. What do? I teach people.
So good.
Right. And so if that's one planet, the other planet that is known for this sort of abundance energy would be Jupiter. And Jupiter is known as the expansive energy where we find our luck, as well as our beliefs and many other things. Okay. Jupiter has a transit that does only once every 12 years into the sign that it is in your natal chart. So whenever it comes back to that sign, it's important because you may want to do something that
So you guys got that Venus, Jupiter. I'm going to recap in between her pauses.
Yes, Venus and Jupiter. And so Jupiter now is in Leo. And so therefore we will find our expansion through the acts of creativity and of wanting to show up and be that visible person. All right. It's going to be different for everybody based on your chart.
Yep.
The other thing that speaks to on a celestial body perspective of money is Mercury, because Mercury is the planet of commerce, of transactions, right? So like back in the day, what did people do to do business? They gathered around a market, el mercado, Mercury. So Mercury is about that market, that social connection. So Mercury is also social media. It's the sharing of information, of transactional information. And so if you have a very strong Mercury signature, meaning
So everybody go look at your Mercury on your chart while you're waiting for her to come back.
So wherever Mercury sits in your chart, that is where you're doing that conversation. And so for me, it's in the place of joy. It's in the house of creativity. And so for me, my creative pursuits generate the ability for me to then go out there into the marketplace and sell.
So amazing. Every time I'm with you, I keep thinking, oh my God, I just want to be in a classroom like a couple times a week. I have such a desire to be in sync with this energy. It's so fascinating. The other thing you were mentioning, how important can we reference that again? The fourth houses, because you
Mhm.
talked to me about, and
Mhm.
I'm like, my cards are like flipping all over the place. Woo! Like falling. So, how important the fourth house is, and
Yeah.
can you speak about that to the people, please?
Yeah. So the fourth house, the reason why it's important to understand is because that's your
Everybody, check your fourth house.
and so anything that placed there talks about your experience that you are going to have with your emotions and your most private nature.
Yeah.
I have my Venus in the fourth, which means that I could potentially make money from home, from real estate. And I've made money in the real estate market, and I also make money by working from home.
Mm-hmm.
And I could also make a living by being a homemaker or taking care of somebody's home, or, if that was of interest to me. So whatever sits in that fourth house can speak to your own things, but it's not all money. Okay. The
Yeah.
fourth is not about money. It just happens to be that I have the planet of money in the fourth house.
Interesting. Yeah.
Right. And
The lake.
so
Yeah.
understanding where things are. And then the other one that a lot of people sort of ignore, but it's core to money, it's your sun. Because
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
showing
Isn't
up.
it? Mm-hmm.
And so to live an abundant life, we can't escape nurturing that part of ourselves. So my sun sits in the house of creativity, like my Mercury. And so I don't have children. That's a complicated story. We'll talk about that some other time. But since I don't, I can put all of my creative efforts into whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Right. And so for me being creative and expressing myself through a creative nature is very important to my happiness and my
Oh,
well-being.
absolutely. Oh my God. So much goodness here. So we would love to, if you guys have questions, not necessarily, well, you can ask if you have an interesting chart, if you know your chart and you feel like you're struggling in some area related to the topic, we would love to maybe look at a few studies. We did this last time. It was so fun to be able to do that. So Carolina can look at a little piece of your chart, and answer a question related to the topic. And then I will also be looking at the energetics. So if you guys have that, you can go ahead and pop those into the chat if you want.
Yeah.
Wow, it's already 11. Well, it's been one of those,
Dude. I definitely have a little more time for us to go into it if we wanted to. So
Yes,
yeah.
I definitely do too.
Uh,
I have time, made time, always flexible.
yeah.
Never double book
And
on these
so
days.
I want to talk about, like, then people are like, cool, so I know those things. Well, how can
Yeah.
I then work with the cosmic energy? Right?
Yes.
Then the cosmic energy and then the timing of things.
Yes.
So one last planet that I didn't mention, and that would be the moon. All right.
Yeah.
So the moon is one to really pay attention to as well, because it's our emotional body. But what does the moon do? The moon gathers light. It does not give light. It
Mhm.
seems to.
Mhm. Yep. And they call the moon a luminary.
It is. There are
Mhm.
two luminaries. The sun is one of them, and the moon is the other. And the
Yeah.
sun and the moon rule the right and the left eye. Your eyes are sun and moon as well.
Now, which one's which?
Now, see, now you had to ask.
Sorry.
I believe the left is the moon because that's the feminine side,
Oh my God.
and I believe the masculine is the. I'm not certain. Don't quote me on that. I need to look it up again. So mention drop in
Yes,
your
I'm
link
gonna
for
do it
your
right now.
thingamajiggy. Yeah.
You your thingamajiggy,
Yeah, your free gift course.
my thingamabobber boo. Yes, please
Yes.
talk amongst yourselves, friends.
All right. So the moon gathers things, and they say wherever the moon sits in your chart, you are able to gather things. So my moon sits in the 8th house. So I have noticed that I tend to acquire other people's.
Mm-hmm. Stay tuned. The nugget is coming, friends.
Yes. I'm I'm constantly gifted by things from the universe. When I walk around the neighborhood, I find things like money, things that are high value. People give me money in other forms, whether that's through like, hey, would you like to receive this like several $1,000s worth of necklace? Like and it's not me giving anything in exchange generally, except for who I am. So the moon tends to gather things. So if it's in the third house, then you might be have a lucky streak by gaining favors with your local community
Mm-hmm.
or your siblings.
Mm-hmm.
If your moon is in the seventh, then perhaps those gathering of treats come with through like one-on-one connections with people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the moon can be also used for timing of I know I'm all right. What are the signs where the moon does its sort of monetary magic work?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Taurus.
Yep.
So anytime the moon is in Taurus, do money magic. Anytime the moon is in perhaps like Capricorn, also do money work
Yeah.
because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and that will be an initiation of something that will take a long time to manifest, but it will be done in a structured and well supported manner,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Got to be
So
patient.
those are really great times. And then of course, whenever the moon transits your own second house or your eighth or say your sixth and the 11th,
Mm-hmm.
those would be also times for us. And you could literally be like, I'm going to put my resume out. I'm going to go and do a networking call. I'm going way of doing money magic with like the moon, but it can be really elaborate. I mean, myself, when I met Carey here, I fell in love. I was like, oh my God, you're my sister from another mother that was
Sure.
galactic.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've traveled past lives because we have so many similarities in our paths.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally see Carey more of as a mentor because you have been in this realm of spiritual development and intuition development since you were a baby. That was way more. I came into that way later. But somehow I'm like, hey, Carey, have you heard of that? Oh my God, yeah, I do that magic too.
We just sold like it was crazy. I mean, there's so many. So not to mention proximity location where that you lived and have a home in Portland, et cetera, et cetera. But the fact of all the way you're doing magic and manifestation and the behind the scenes work you're doing with esoteric and occult studies, I'm like, what? How is that possible? How did you start doing? And so she's like made an incredible like impression. And I'm using all those things right now with some other practitioners to deepen my own practice with some of the mentors and oh my God, and the sources. Like that should be a whole thing, like a list of things.
I know. And you know, the thing, so here's the part where that I want people to understand what we're sharing seems out of this world.
Right.
But the reality is that these are hacks. These are hacks of that people have figured out over centuries of
Yeah.
how to work with energy, and they've given them names, okay? Because that's what we do, right? Like,
Yeah.
hey, what did you do? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, let's just call it whatever. And these names could be spirits. These
Yes.
things could be a connection to planetary energies, but they're all speaking the same thing, which is vibration.
Right.
It's the mindset, right? So the mindset has to let go of an expectation of how things are going to be. And so there are materia as well as energetic path.
She'll be back on in a minute, everybody. Hold the moment, the space. She's going to jump back in a minute. So someone's oh, go ahead, friend.
Do you do path workings in your business?
I do path workings in my business.
Okay. Yeah.
I do.
So,
And I work primarily at this point in this way right now with the angelics. and some of the Enochian. I've done that past too, but I primarily work with angelics. There's a reason for that. I, although I've done so right now, I am working with planetary energy. So I'm working with Jupiter, pathwork. And then I am working, well, I've gotten, some of the attunements, you'll know what we mean. But then I have a whole layout of working with each of the angelics. I think because the angelics, I'm so used to like working with goddesses that I'm used to having a relationship with them. So it's very much like, they come to, I work with them, but they come to me with clients and we do healing work. And we do, like yesterday, I did a reading for someone and I just knew it was all about Aphrodite for her. So this morning I spent all this time helping her, write out and understand Aphrodite, da, da, da. Now, eventually she might do a path working with her, but at first she's learning how to open up to her energy. So there's a different orientation, if you know what I mean. Hold the phone, everybody. She'll be back. Okay, but I'm going to look at some of the comments. I can see that Pfeiffer, bookkeeping. Hello. We have Jupiter is your chart ruler, and it's in your 7th house, and your moon's in Pisces in the 3rd house. Okay, we'll definitely have her take a look at that when she comes back. And if you're wondering about some of the things we're talking about, we'll definitely go into them a little bit more, and that would be because we both have different ways that, again, we use in our spiritual personal practices, which help. And although these topics at first, even for me, felt a little heady and like, well, what are you talking about? They can be broken down and understood. And it's all just basically, like she said, working with energies and working with either planetary energy or working with spirits, also working with your own chart in general, like what we're mentioning here, but bringing it forth in a grounded way. I was feeling drawn while waiting for her to pull a card. Do any of you guys have this specific deck? This is a really great deck for symbols if you're working with your guides or just want to do pulling cards. Why I like this, it has a lot of very universal symbols. And so as one of the things I just got was the symbol for being grounded, which is a big part of what I talk about with my work constantly, is like we can go very expansive with our own spiritual work and with these topics. However, if we don't have it connected to our daily lives or our regular everyday mundane, there's a disconnect. And the interesting thing is we pulled the card of the Pentacle, which is earth energy, but also representing magic. So I kind of feel like that's what we're talking about here. And so for me, having my Mercury in Virgo, which is an earth sign, is grounded magic. Hence why I call my channel Soul to Earth. Okay. Another one. Here we go, guys. I'm just going to pull cards while we're waiting. Divine Feminine. But also we can see that this is learning about the moon phases. When you're in a waxing moon, when you're in a waning moon, when you're in the full moon, and how just learning about these energies. Carolinas, I am looking to connect with my spirit guides and learn more about my past lives. Well, you're in the right place. That's what I do. So be sure to follow my channel because that's a lot of the content that I talk about and I help my students with. And also I have a membership, which Carolina and I we met each other through school, which an app. All right, she's here. Okay, good. Here we go. We're keeping it up. We started talking about what we talk about, which is I was talking about grounded spirituality, that you and I are talking about these very expansive esoteric topics. However, Caroline and I both really believe in being super grounded about the work. Like if you can't bring it into your daily life, what do you have? Let me show you these cards.
Okay.
We got the anchor, which is grounded. Shut the fuck up. We got magic in the pen.
Nice.
And finally, just what you were talking about, knowing the cycles of the moon with divine feminine. So yes. But we do have a couple people mentioning if you want to look at someone's a little bit of. Are you up for doing a little chart? A little couple questions.
Yeah. I'll respond to Precious's Pfeiffer bookkeeping. Yes. Thank you. Hi, Precious. It's good to see you, friend. Jupiter is her chart ruler. She has that in the 7th house with the moon in Pisces in the 3rd. All right. So Pisces as a Jupiter as as a ruler speaks to a path of someone that is here to expand and understand the world through experiences of the mind, of spirit, and perhaps like locations, right? So they're out there being the Jupiter individual. And having it in the seventh house means that your opportunities for good luck and expansion come through the one on one connections that you make in life. And that could be like perhaps like a beneficiary business partner, or perhaps you get married to somebody that's younger.
Interesting. Pull the
And
past life card.
yeah, you could take like a long time for you to meet your partner, or the partner is older.
Mm.
Because Saturn talks about age and time and just, over time. And then the moon in Pisces in the third, so Jupiter rules your third house of Pisces, then that says you're like really intuitive when it comes to your senses, your ability to speak and communicate. And at times it might be hard because your intuition could be so all over the place. Like Pisces doesn't have groundedness, discernment. That would be Virgo. Virgo is discerned knowledge, whereas Pisces is just like this intuitive knowledge of understanding of the big picture of the world. So really knowing your second house. So if Pisces is in your third, then Aquarius,
Aquarius.
you're a Capricorn rising.
She's coming back, everybody.
Yes. So
There we go.
here I am.
You got what you
Uh,
got, you sister.
Yeah, so wherever Saturn sits in your chart is where you need to pay attention to for your money situations. And
Mhm.
Aquarius speaks that you're going to do money in a very different way. You're not going to do it like other people. Aquarius is the one that goes and understands the networked effect of things and wants to do more of a collective gift. And so you have talents that can be utilized with technology if you chose to, but it's going to take time because wherever Saturn rules takes time. These things are not things that get expanded immediately because you wish upon it.
Mm. Okay, so the way Carlene and I like to do this is she does your astrological forecast and works on it related to your topic, and I'm doing it related to I'm going to read your energy if I may, if we can start with that. So, and I saw you just joined the community. Hooray! I'm so excited to meet you. So let me just tap in. The first thing I'm really getting, and this probably relates to your own energetics with your astrology, is a lot of restriction in your power center, which is your third chakra, right at your solar plexus. This is what it feels like. And it feels almost like you're a very internal and person who has a lot of depth. And so when you go to exert your energy in social situations that are possibly new or expansive, there's almost like a feeling of wanting to pull back and retreat. And by nature, that's not such a bad thing because we want to probably figure out where our best set point is energetically and what we feel good in our framework. However, I feel like the third chakra for you specifically is it's a double-edged sword because you are being asked to move out further into your life and project and grow, but there's a fear and there's a worry about letting go. And so I would probably my advice for you would be to work on your energetic grounding, and you can do that really simply by imagining you have a tree root that grows from the base of your first chakra, the bottom of your spine, and it grows all the way down to the center of the earth. So you feel yourself feeling stabilized and supported. And then working with the color yellow is going to be really good for you energetically. And you want to imagine from your solar plexus that gently your energy is just expanding, expanding, expanding. You're not the only one doing that. Your higher self is working with you, as well as if you have your guides are there too. And this will gently help you step into more of allowing yourself to shine in the way that is measurable and works for you. That's what I'm hearing. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like Yazzie is leaving. Yeah, sorry, Yazzie, we weren't able to get to you, and we'll do your more about your chart when we meet tomorrow. And
Woo, fun. Love that. So I was also going to ask you, what do you currently, while you're pausing, what do you currently have going on as far as your, I'll call what you're offering community as far as readings and things like that?
Yeah, so anyone can book time with me for a reading, and it's questmystic.com/book me. Book me is one word, and you can find out what my offering is at this time. Right now, it's still 110 for 60 minutes, and it won't last much longer. So please, if you are curious, go do that.
Yeah.
I just removed the lower price tiers out of that because I'm moving away from that work.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and then my membership is actually closed at this moment. I'm intentionally not doing open door enrollment right now
Yeah.
until I figure out more about the business itself and the
Makes sense. Pause, everybody.
Oh my goodness. Everybody has their different opinions about how to do their business, and I would say just listen to what works for you. And for me, like having a door open was draining me.
Totally
It
makes sense.
because energetically, I'd be like, "Why isn't anyone signing up?" And I'm like, "Okay, I need to shift my mind."
100%. 100%. Oh, you're gonna have an amazing session with her. Game changer. It's interesting you mentioned that because on my in my community, I had a thing because everyone was saying, "Oh, do the lower tier, $7 an entrance." I was like, "I'll try it," and I was like, "I hate this. I hate it. I just can't stand it." It's like it felt so out of alignment. I was like, "I am taking that off. I'm doing a freemium tier, and there's going to be you can get a sense. It's like coming in a coffee shop and getting to know the people. Do I like this coffee shop? Is this my favorite coffee shop? Do I want to get more? Do I want to sign up for more?" And that way, I felt there's no pressure on the system at all. There's come in. And then I also upped the price. I just upped the price of the premium of the one. And I have only, in that community, I only have one tier. And it feels so good. It just is rising up today, actually, and notably. And that feels so much better because I'm like, you have to be in your alignment. Exactly. You've
Yes.
got to do whatever is speaking to you. It's so unique. So there's nothing one size fits all. It's like your astrology chart. There's no
No.
one size fits all.
Yeah. And everybody has different opinions on all that. So just listen to yourself. So Yazzie says that she'll be leaving in 10. Okay, cool. There's who is it? Super musing, Sun, Aquarius, 8th house, Moon in Leo, 2nd house,
Oh, let
rising
me go back
Cancer
to that.
first.
Okay.
Jupiter in my area. Okay, not sure about your moon. Okay, so yes, Moon in Leo, 2nd house, tech issues here too.
Yeah. We're just keeping it light, going with the flow.
I think I just paused. A Leo 2nd house says to me that you should definitely be looking to see what your creativity gifts have to say about what you do out there. Like wanting your sun is in the 8th. So, oh, you're like a full moon baby. So yeah, you have the ability to see the future have this antenna of wanting to help the collective. And so you can take your creative gifts and monetize that and move them through the sharing with other people. So whatever you create is going to be very intertwined with other people's nature of wanting to transform the 8th house. Perhaps that you become somebody who's like somebody who helps people like understand their own values, and you can I think that the internet has really just killed me today. And yes.
But we will be coming on every Wednesday, you all. Just so you know, we've got our summer hours have been a little flexy between some of the things I've had going on, and Carlina, the party in the house girl for the birthday queen. So
Yeah.
you look forward to us. We are going to be doing this Wednesdays. I'm hoping we can do the 10 a.m. and the one for you if that works for me. I realize.
Yeah, that
Um,
works for me.
yeah, and we'll
Yeah.
be talking about different topics. If you guys have topics you want us to cover, please put it in Carolina's. First of all, make sure you're also following her as well and registered with the notifications, and then also in mine. And we will talk about the different topics that we can expand on if you have these interests, which, related to these incredibly empowering areas of your life and how we can support you and speak on these things, because I learn so much every time I'm with you. Honestly, everyone, I'm like writing down furiously. I have to have like my notes app on, like, so they can record you. Of course, I have the YouTube link, but I'm like, wait a minute. What did she say again? It's so incredible. Actually, today I'm doing a past life regression in about 40 minutes. Very excited about that. Which is going to be really fascinating. And again, when you go and do this kind of work, you can apply your interests. There she goes. You can apply your interests and questions to doing the work. So if you get, say, for example, I'll speak for Carlene, if you have this sort of like, okay, I want to know how to grow and expand in my business and be in alignment with my chart, such a great session to go with her. And then you can take that information and then apply it to your life, even if you're just starting out or you're pivoting or something, or you want to be more empowered. And then with me, of course, I have a community, but I also really help clients through, I do readings and I do Akashic Records work with them, which really helps you come forward and get really clear on where you are now, but also help clear out blockages. And that is pretty transformational and powerful. Past life work is part of that too. And then teaching people to work in the Akashic Records. I have my intro. I have 3 stages to the Akashic Records training that I do. I have learning to read for yourself. I have learning to read for others, and I have practitioner level. And that's something you're interested in, even just learning to read for yourself. You can definitely check out all the links in the description. Hello. I just pitched the readings for you again. I was
okay,
like,
good. Okay,
yeah.
good. So before we get cut off again, please do follow my page, but also look at the notes that I shared in the YouTube post thingamajiggy. There are all the links to follow Carey and join her schools, get on her email list, all the things. And yes, we'll be here again. And by then, we have Mercury retrograde a little bit longer. So you'll just please be patient.
Well, we're just gonna. It's fun. We're working. We're moving. Literally, we're working with our feet. Standing, pedaling, tossing doing this thing with the plates. You know what I'm doing after this? I'm doing a past life regression at noon my time. So I got to get my. Thank goodness my mic's working right. I got to get my headphones on. Got to get
there goes my
yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything else to talk about.
I think this has been amazing. Despite the blips and the bleeps and the blops and the bloops, it's been amazing as always. I feel like I got so much out of it, and I know everybody else did. And there were so many good nuggets and wise information that I think we're just so fortunate to be getting these, this technology, this knowledge of how to work with ourselves and not be moving around in the dark doing guesswork.
Right.
Yes. I mean, so amazing as usual.
Yeah. So if this inspired you, please leave comments on any topics that you would like to see us cover next. Yeah. We're open. Carey and I both love to talk. So we do. So we want to share that with you. And we're
breathe. Yeah. So be sure, write comments.
Yes.
You were taking it. Yes. So write comments and then leave it in your calendar. So if you can't come live to our live streams, they will be always in the recording section. You'll find them under the category of live on both Carolina's and on my pages. So you can come back and watch it if it doesn't work, right? Because it goes straight in there.
It's straight. Magical.
Straight. There's no editing involved. Yay!
How magic. Oh
magical. All right. I love you. And thank you so much. This was fun. I mean, despite Mercury being a naughty son.
Wow.
That was a big time. That was a start and stop and start.
That was wild. Okay, I
Mhm.
love you.
I
Take
love you
care,
too. Bye,
everybody.
friends. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Ciao, ciao, ciao. I'll talk to you later. I'll message you. Okay,
Bye.
bye. Bye.